Investment advisory and financial planning services are offered through Simplicity Wealth, LLC, and SEC Registered Investment Advisor. SEC registration does not constitute nor endorse of the firm, nor does it indicate that the advisor has attained a particular level of skill nor ability. Investing involves risk of loss. Insurance, consulting, and education services offered through Diamond Life Planning is a separate and unaffiliated entity from Simplicity Wealth. This information is provided as a general information and is not intended to be specific financial guidance. Before you make any decisions regarding your personal financial situation, you should consult a financial or tax professional to discuss your individual circumstances and objectives.
Welcome to the Rock My Finances show on K4HD Radio and Talk4 TV, where we put the fun in finance. Join Powerhouse Jennifer Joseph, CDFA, CMC, and Private Wealth Advisor, as she collaborates with you to create clarity, control, and confidence with your money, your way. It's not about the zeros, so what is it all about? Let's find out. Now here's your host and weekly friend, Jennifer Joseph.
Welcome back. I love this series. This is called the 7 Money Wounds series. We are talking today about the wound number 1, scarcity. The other wounds are shame, worthiness, control, trust, security, and identity. So today, y'all, we get to talk about the scarcity wound. Have you ever looked at your bank account and saw that you were financially okay, but you still felt a little anxious, maybe like a little pit in your stomach, maybe you couldn't take deep breaths. Maybe you hesitated to spend money on yourself. I know a lot of women do that, even when you've planned for it and you have the money and it's a-okay, but maybe you just avoid investing because you're afraid of losing what you've already worked so hard for. Or maybe no matter how much money you accumulate, you're always having that little voice in the back of your head that's saying, I don't have enough, or I'll never have enough. If any of that sounds familiar, this is a great episode for you. It might even sound like your best friend or your spouse. So today we're talking about the first of what I call the 7 money wounds. This is the scarcity wound. I want to begin by saying something incredibly important. So listen up here. You ready? A scarcity mindset isn't a character flaw. It doesn't mean that you're greedy, irresponsible, overly cautious. More than not, it's an emotional response that was learned many years ago. Scarcity is a belief that there will never be enough. Not enough money, not enough opportunities, not enough security, not enough time, not enough success. And if we're honest, sometimes it even becomes a belief that we're not enough. Scarcity doesn't begin with your first paycheck. It usually begins with your first experiences around money, which, we all had that in our childhoods. So as children, we don't understand budgets and money and mortgages and investing and paying bills and all that stuff. But we do understand feelings, and we can feel feelings as we're growing up, right? We can notice tension within our parents when they're arguing over bills, or just maybe even writing the bills out. Back in the day, my parents used to have to write checks. Remember that? We had to spend time with our money, and we've gotten away from that a lot. So I always have my clients do a money date, a happy money date, but they definitely schedule on their calendar 30 minutes a week to spend time loving their money, for sure. Back in the day, we spent a lot of time with remember all the charts that would be out on the tables and the checkbooks and, all the bills and opening up all that stuff and the stamps and all that great stuff. We don't do that anymore with all this online checking or online bill pays and stuff. So we want to make sure that we still are loving our money. We notice when we're young that we notice that silence when someone asks for something and the answer is we can't afford it. Or maybe even, did you ever rehearse how you were going to ask your parents for something, or pick who you were going to go ask for something because maybe one person said yes, one person said no, or whoever the adults were in your childhood. We notice fear when a job is lost in the household, or if we have to move. We notice all those things as children. We notice when the electricity gets shut off, or when vacations are canceled, or when we never go on vacations. Growing up for me, we never really did that. We never went on an airplane. We never went anywhere. that we were all just very frugal, right? Or so when we hear adults whispering about money and they think we've gone to bed, or maybe they might be fighting about money when they think we're in bed, children don't usually understand the details, but they always understand emotions. So if you have little kids around you or grandkids around you, be very aware your children are absolutely feeling what you are feeling, regardless of what you're saying. In fact, if we say something different than what we're feeling, all that does is create more chaos inside of our children, because now they don't know who to believe, and trust is a problem. Those emotions become beliefs when we're children. Without realizing it, many children begin telling themselves stories. Money isn't safe. Money creates fighting. Money makes daddy leave. Money makes mom go silent and withdraw. Like my mom would get mad and just withdraw. She didn't do it very often, but boy, when she did it, it hurt. Like it was scary for me. I felt abandoned. I felt alone, and I didn't even know what happened, right? We could feel it could disappear at any moment, right? The rug can get pulled out from underneath us. We have to hold on really, really tight to everything I have because I don't want it to go away. We could create that as children. If I spend money, something bad might happen. These are all the little thoughts that children could be thinking. These stories often follow us into adulthood. If you've ever met somebody who's had plenty of money but completely terrified to spend $20 on themselves. Now, I know there's a lot of sayings out there that rich people are rich because they're frugal or whatever, but a lot of them are, it's not that they're frugal, it's that they're still terrified of losing what they have. So, like every once in a while, you'll hear somebody like, oh yeah, my friend's cheap. They don't want to do that. They don't want to do that. Well, maybe they're just terrified, right? So it's emotional things that are running things. Someone might check their investments accounts 4 or 5 times a day because they can't stop the worry. We all know worry is not healthy. Worry creates fine lines, y'all. Worry creates anxiety, depression, takes years off our life. And does it do any good? Does it get us anywhere? Like, worrying does not help at all. Someone else might refuse to retire because they keep saying, just one more year, just a little bit more time. They're just really afraid of not having that paycheck come in every single year. And they might even have it. In fact, I do know someone that has an advisor. Their advisor has told them, you absolutely can retire. You're totally fine. And nope, still can't do it. She's way too nervous. So that to me, she doesn't trust herself. She doesn't trust her advisor. So she has trust issues because she doesn't believe what's actually happening. So sometimes it's fear wearing the mask of responsibility. Scarcity doesn't always show up as having too little. In fact, a lot of times it doesn't. It's just the feeling of scarcity. My parents were very comfortable. My mom still had that scarcity wound from growing up in the Depression. She was the 4th child. So they had a little bucket, a little trough thing that they all took baths in. So she was the 4th one that had to take the bath. She always got hand-me-down clothes. She only had 2 pairs of shoes, all that stuff. They had potatoes every night, just not enough money for everything. So she came by scarcity mode very honestly, because that's how she absolutely grew up. And she healed a lot of her stuff, but she still saved so many little things all the time. She still does. She still saves so many different things. So it doesn't always show up as just having too little. Sometimes it shows up at never believing that you're going to have enough. So even though, which I've met so many times, multimillionaires, they're totally fine with the retirement plan. They're doing very well. And now they're in their 70s, not spending the money they have. And so even their required minimum distributions, which is what you're required to take out of retirement accounts at the age of 73 at this point, they give it back to me. Like they want to give it back to me. They don't want to spend it because they think there's not going to be enough, when they would have to triple their spending right now in order to even get close to, living to 105 and not having money. So there's no way they're going to spend all their money. But it is how they grew up in a scarcity mindset, and it's really hard to change. So that's why I want us all to be aware of this right now. It's a way exhausting way to live, and it's not fun. Like, we are supposed to all be here for fun. I want you to have fun. I want to have fun. That's what it's about. Laughing, loving, enjoying life. That's all money is a tool to help us enjoy life. So as a financial advisor, I've seen people with millions of dollars who still live with tremendous financial anxiety. And we all know anxiety is not good for us. I've seen people with much less who sleep wonderfully because they trust in their plan, they trust in themselves, and they trust in the universe. So they don't have that fear. They're not making decisions based on fear. The difference isn't the size of portfolio at all. It's the difference that the story that they're telling themselves. Scarcity isn't measured by your bank account. It's measured by your thoughts. One biggest lie scarcity tells us is, once I have more, I'll feel really safe. Then what happens? The finish line just keeps moving, because first it's 5,000, then it's 10,000, then it's 15, then it's 20, then it's 30, then it's 50,000, then it's 100,000, it's 500,000. It's never enough. Then it's 1,000,000. The number is always changing, because as Americans, we spend what we make, period. We spend what we make. And I know we all think we're going to spend less in retirement, but we don't, because of cost of living, travel, whatever our hobbies are. We spend 80 to 100% close to what we spend in retirement, what we spend in our earning years, we spend in retirement. So it's not about zeros. I know I say this all the time. It's not about the zeros. It's about a wound that we haven't healed, okay? So it's not about the amount. It's about the safety that we feel. The good news is a scarcity wound can be healed, y'all. Of course it can. Not overnight. I wish, but not overnight. And it's not, once it's gone, it's never gone forever, right? Like we keep peeling that onion. Over all of our wounds, it takes time. One thought, one decision, and one belief at a time. And you got this. You can absolutely do this. The first coaching exercise I'd like you to do this week is called Follow the Feeling. The next time you feel anxious about spending money, don't immediately ask yourself whether you should buy it or not. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? What am I afraid of? Do I feel guilty? Do I feel untrusting of myself in this decision? Do I feel unsafe? Am I worried that something's going to happen if I make this decision? Write down your feelings. Pull out your money journal and let's write down these feelings when we feel anxious. Remember, feelings aren't facts. Check out my other episode that I talk about all 7 wounds, and it talks so much about feelings are not facts. They're just information. The second coaching exercise that I'd like you to do is called My Earliest Money Memory. So take out your journal, your good old money journal, and write down the first memory you have involving money. What happened? Who was there? How old were you? Sometimes I can't guess my age, but I know like what outfit I was wearing, or maybe I saw a picture or something. Most importantly, how did you feel around that money memory? Were you scared? Were you embarrassed? Were you ashamed? Did you feel left out because your family couldn't afford something maybe? A lot of my clients, that's their first money experience, is when, they have to go to school and they have something different than other kids at school. Did you watch your parents argue maybe? Is that your first money memory? Did you hear money doesn't grow on trees every single week? Do you remember that? Don't judge the memory. We're just acknowledging it, being aware of it. We're just simply observing it. We're data collectors right now, because awareness always comes before healing. So this is a really big part. We want to be aware. And this is how, y'all, you get to know yourself and you get to love yourself. It's just like dating. We want to get to know someone, right? So that we can love them. Well, that takes communication. So that means that when you're loving yourself, you got to communicate with yourself. The third coaching exercise to identify your is to identify your scarcity statements. This is a good one. I need to do this again, like often. So I think I'm going to take this on this week as well. Let's notice what we're saying, what we're telling ourselves. For 1 week, notice everything you say, like, I can't afford that. I'll never have enough. I'm terrible with money. I'll probably lose it anyways. Write down every statement. Then ask yourself, is this a fact or is this a belief that I learned? You may be surprised how many thoughts actually are not yours. They're actually inherited. Thank you, childhood. I don't say I can't afford that. But I do say, I think I just say, I can't do that right now, when I need to reframe that. So I have a spending plan that lays out how much I can spend each month, and something pops up that's different, like this pickleball. I'm going to do this pickleball league. I don't know. It's probably gonna be like $150 or whatever. That's not in my budget for this month. So it's going to be a little extra this month. Okay, that's great. I put that in my spending plan. I'll take it out of my miscellaneous or whatever. So instead of saying, I can't do that this month, I'm going to say, how can I move my money around to make this work? Isn't that different than I can't afford that or I can't do that? Because I'm at choice. I get to choose if I'm going to spend this money or not. So I can say, I'm going to go look at my spending plan. I'm going to see how I can reorganize my money so that I can do the fun things that I want to do. Now, will that mean maybe turning my air conditioning up one more level so it doesn't kick on as much? Right? It could be simple as that. It could be taking less trips to the store to save on gas. It could be, I don't know, so many different things, right? Making sure everything's unplugged around the house, or literally saying no to another event so that I can do this event. All sorts of things, but I'm at choice. I have control. This helps me with scarcity, knowing that I have control. But we want to start with positive statements, right? Okay, the fourth coaching exercise today is to create a new belief. Choose the old belief that no longer serves you. Like when I was growing up, I heard work hard, make money. You might have been hearing there's never enough. Money doesn't grow on trees, which it kind of does, right? Replace it with something that's true, realistic, and empowering. This is what I do a lot of my coaching practice on with clients, because they don't know how to really turn it around because it's so ingrained in them that they only can see the negative part of it. So I'm learning how to make financial decisions instead of I'm bad with money, or I'm never going to be good with money, or I never can understand this. There's a lot of people that come to me that say, I'm horrible at money. I can't do my money. I'll never be able to do it. Like it's all, like never, never, never kind of thing. It's like, okay, let's switch that around to I'm learning how to make wiser financial decisions. Just simply, I'm feeling better about my money. That doesn't have anything to happen, right? I can prepare for the future without living in fear. So I would even turn that one around to I am feeling into my money relationship from love and wisdom. I don't have to let yesterday's experiences make today's decisions. I always say your 5-year-old is running your household right now. Oh, it's also running your relationship, in case you didn't know that. Yeah, your 5-year-old is running your relationship. That's scary, right? If you haven't done any emotional growth on relationships, your 5-year-old's running your relationship. You might want to take a look at that. It's also running your money as well. And if you own a business like me, it's running your business. So let's grow our 5-year-old up, right? And let's look at these beliefs that we are running our businesses on. Notice that these aren't empty affirmations. I don't have to let yesterday's experiences make today's decisions, but they're believable truths. That's another thing. On this homework, the fourth homework, when we are creating a new belief, it has to be something that you can believe. So the visual aspirations that everybody's talking about, like visualization and stuff, I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm a millionaire. I'm a millionaire. There's $1 million coming, $1 billion, whatever. If your body doesn't believe that, it's not going to do any good whatsoever. So I can say I am on track to financial independence. I am on track to not outliving my money. I am on track, right? Like I'm not there yet, but you want it to say something that your body is not going to kick back and go, that's bullshit. That's not true. You don't want your body to reject it. So you want to say truths only. That's what helps your brain begin to accept them. So I'm on my way. I'm learning. Okay. Finally, I'd like to ask yourself one question every evening this week. Okay. Did I make today's financial decisions from fear or wisdom? Now, we all make probably 10 decisions, if not more, a day. We go to the store, we get gas, we buy things, we say yes to pickleball leagues. Like We do all different things, right? So look at those. Did I say yes from fear or wisdom? Or I like to say fear versus love. If I'm in love, making the right decision, it feels really, really good. There's no right or wrong answer. So don't beat yourself up over any of this. And it's not about making yourself feel guilty. It's literally awareness. We can't heal what we're not aware of. So the more you become aware, the more intentional your financial decisions will become, I promise you. And I want to leave you with this final thought. Scarcity isn't really about money. It's really about safety. It's about you feeling safe. Healing begins when you realize that the frightened child inside you that you've been trying to protect for years, that it's okay. That child deserves compassion. And that child no longer has to make your financial decisions. You're a grown-ass adult now. We need to be making our own decisions. I'm a grown woman. Today, you are an adult. You have knowledge. You have expertise. You have experience. And you have choices. And every time you choose wisdom over fear or love over fear, gratitude or appreciation over panic, every time the confidence is going to grow over scarcity. You're rewriting your money story now. Remember, wealth is not what's in your bank account. It's not about the zeros. It's literally about the F word. How do you feel about the zeros? Do you know you're worthy of it? Even if it's small zeros, it doesn't matter, or big zeros, it doesn't matter. It's also about the peace and the calm feeling that you feel when you're looking at your zeros, when you're looking at your money date. I love this. This is so great. So we've got our homework, right? Let me scroll up here and see what our homework is. Oh, we're going to redo our beliefs. This is really, 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 really great. Okay. Our first thing is we're going to ask ourselves, what are we feeling? So we're going to follow the feeling. Number one, what am I feeling? Number two, what's my earliest money memory? Number three, we're going to look at scarcity isn't really about money. No. Sorry. I'm sidetracking you. Anyways, you got your homework, and I want you to know that it's literally not about the scarcity. It's about safety. I want you all to feel safe. So that's why, being a financial advisor, we always do a plan, maybe even a plan A, plan B, plan C, because you have the choice. I work for you. I make sure that your plan fits you. And guess what? It changes all the time. And that's okay. We want it to change because your beliefs change, your confidence grows, everything changes, which is awesome. So I hope you enjoy the homework. I hope you're recreating your money beliefs in your money story so that you can actually just feel better. When we feel better, we're healthier, we're going to live longer. Just saying. Thank you so much for watching this episode, and come back for the others because this is only number one. We're going to come back for all 7 wounds around our money. I want you to be able to check out these episodes and walk away saying, I rock my finances.
We appreciate you joining us today, and don't forget to subscribe to the Rock My Finances YouTube channel for more engagement and bonus content. Tell me, what is your money story? Let's find out with Jennifer right here on K4HD Radio and Talk4 TV. It's not about the zero, it's about the F word, feelings. Feelings Jennifer can't wait to explore with you next week. Until then, let's all say, I rock my finances.